corporate leans very heavily into doing like the 3 or 4 hour lecture style presentations. And
They do what's comfortable.
oh, yeah, education research would tell you it is like the worst way to help people learn. I think from a learning and development perspective, you're still missing the research that tells us how people learn best.
Have you ever dabbled in experiential learning?
I have, yes. I'm a fan of it. And it's actually been proven to be one of the most effective ways to help people learn. We need more experiential learning. We need them to be able to practice in a safe environment where their manager is not able to see them so that they feel like they can fail and learn, right? Oftentimes that is how you learn because then you can get corrective feedback that improves your skill and then the application to your job.
Hey, this is William Tincup and Marcy. Marcy, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you today?
I am doing really, really well. We're kind of coming to the end-ish of day 2. Give us your background. Introduce yourself.
Yeah. I'm Marcy. I'm the Vice President of Learning Science and Research at Macmillan Learning. I'm in a little bit of a different world here. I came from education research.
Ed tech, yeah.
Ed tech, yeah. So I've spent my career helping to design and test learning solutions to help people.
I love that.
I learn as much as I can.
One of the first companies that I saw that did the crossover was Instructure, because they were ed tech and then they did some HR tech stuff as well. But the two are so similar, especially once you get into the learning development part.
Absolutely. I mean, good learning techniques are good learning techniques.
Turns
It
out.
doesn't matter. Yeah. It doesn't matter whether you're in a classroom or whether you are in the workforce.
And again, it's one of those bits. It's like you learn some of the best practices that are over here. It's like, and you go over to corporate, you're like, yeah, none of this is happening.
It is very funny because I still think corporate leans very heavily into doing like the 3 or 4 hour lecture style presentations. And
they do what's comfortable.
oh, yeah. Education research would tell you it is like the worst way to help people learn.
Oh, and with the generations coming,
yeah,
good luck.
I know.
It's not
the engagement is lacking. There's no application of the skills.
That's right.
It's like,
that's right.
Yeah.
Are you an experiential? Have you ever dabbled in experiential learning?
I have, yes.
I love experiential learning.
I'm a fan of it. And it's
Big fan.
It's actually been proven to be one of the most effective ways to help people learn. So, I mean, you can imagine it now with AI, we can create scenarios.
You can do all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, they're so relevant. And
well, 100 years ago, this will date me, but 100 years ago, the conference board had an experiential program where they would send you out to, it was all history based.
Wow.
So they'd send you to Houston for the Apollo, and you'd go through the entire Apollo process and learn leadership.
Absolutely.
And then they did it at Gettysburg.
Yep.
And you go through the entire, like you walk the field.
Yes.
You walk the battlefield and you learned at different points communication and all the facets of leadership.
Absolutely. Some of the best instructors that I've seen have used that model. Like I've been in classrooms where we had a former NASA control officer, and she was playing the Challenger mission, and she was asking her students to break down the different roles and then what they were experiencing and where they could have made different decisions and the outcomes that would differ. I mean, experiential learning at its finest. And I mean, it just, to me, it proves that you don't even have to sometimes leave the environment. Like we could be in our jobs and we could still simulate that experience and have just as powerful of a learning opportunity.
What do you think the corporate training, again, we kind of call it a lot of different things, training and development, learning and development, this, that, and the other. It used to be CLO, Chief Learning Officer driven. I don't think it's as much driven that way. What do you think we're missing?
I think from a learning and development perspective, you're still missing the research that tells us how people learn best. And so from my perspective, we need more experiential learning. We need them to be able to practice in a safe environment where their manager is not able to see them so that they feel like
That's
they
right.
can fail and learn. Right?
Safe environment.
Yeah, safe environment. And also, when you think about failure, oftentimes that is how you learn because then you can get corrective feedback that improves your skill. And then the application to your job, right? So again, in a lower stakes environment where you're applying that skill repeatedly until you perfect it, and then you can keep building on it.
It's funny that you mentioned it because I did a lot of software user adoptions consulting for a while, and it all kind of came down to training. like change management and communications. There was a lot of other things, but
Mm.
training.
Yep.
And so training, learning how your employees like to learn,
Mhm.
and also learning differences. What's the impediments to learning? So
Yes.
learning how they like to learn, that's great. But like my kids during COVID, beginning of COVID, they loved virtual learning
Yes.
until we got their report cards.
Yes.
Yeah. So they loved it. They were horrible at it. Both of them ADHD. They were horrible at it. So it's
Absolutely.
like finding out where they thrive. And again, that could be all kinds of different things, but I think assessing both how they like to learn, but also what might be in the way.
Yeah, absolutely. When you think about the different impediments to learning, I thought that was a great way to put it. There are ways that we can offset them by different types of like learning experiences and learning modules. And I think that they're a lot more accessible to us than they were in the past. So it used to be, like you said, we'd have to take them out of the workforce or take them out of the classroom and go somewhere. There's now VR,
Oh, yeah.
right? Like you can simulate something virtually with just a pair of VR goggles. There are ways that you can create scenarios in the workforce that are like very vivid and that are going to apply to your job that are going to give the students a much different the workforce, the learner a much different experience. And I think the world is wide open now, especially with the large language models. Like you can keep simulating this over and over
Sorry.
until folks get it right.
And then at one point it'll click.
Yes.
You know, the best businesses or the corporation side, they tie recruiting to learning. So they learn in recruiting kind of where the spots are that need some help. And then they put them on a learning path from day one.
Right. I mean, I think what's been very interesting to me is lately we've been hearing a trend towards I hire for the soft skills because I can train on like what they're calling the hard skills later. And so they're saying if I have somebody who is a great collaborator, a great communicator, those are things
Flexible.
that,
Yeah.
yeah, are
Yeah.
very difficult. Like the human skills are difficult to train, but I can train them how to be a coder or a programmer
Right.
or a project
Well, at
manager.
this point, you could train a agentic AI to code. So you
Right.
don't even have to teach them how to code. You have to teach them how to manage
Yes.
people that code, which when I was doing my MBA 100 years ago, the difference between a bachelor's in accounting and an MBA in accounting is the bachelor's is they're doing T accounting, debits, credits, debits, credits.
Yeah.
The MBA is how do you manage accountants?
Right. Yes.
So I think we're in that era of how do you manage your agents or agentic AI?
Yeah. And like using the agents as an amplifier of the processes that can be like downgraded to an AI efficiency, right? And then being able to also meaningfully manage other individuals who are needed to be able to like moderate and oversee the AI. I think that is a difficult task at this point because you're managing two very distant
Oh yeah.
different
Oh
processes.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I can see the confusion from
Yeah.
here.
Yes.
Last question
Mhm.
is I know because I dealt with a lot of change management folks, sometimes the paralysis is where to start.
Yeah.
What do you see in that kind of like, especially with AI,
Mhm.
but where do you kind of give them quick win?
Yeah.
Here's start with this,
Right.
get good at that, and then do this other thing.
I mean, it's not unlike in an education environment where you're going to start with some of the like the quote easier questions on an assessment and give people a win. And so like if you're thinking of AI skills, oftentimes where we start is look at AI output and tell me, do you trust it? Tell me, does this
Oh, I
even
like
sound
that.
reasonable to you? And then if they can see AI output can be wrong and you as a human are quite frankly better, then it gives them the confidence to start like, how can I better prompt it then? How can I start to work with AI to make this process more efficiently? So we kind of like put them in the seat of I'm the leader, and then it helps to gain their confidence.
I love that. I love that. This has been wonderful. Marcy,
Thank
thank you for
you.
carving out time for us.
I appreciate you.
Absolutely. And thanks to the audience for watching and listening.